Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of RetNav DMR's Tech Tips. Today we are talking about the track replays on DCS and some of the errors that people seem to be having, as well as myself, and possible solutions based on what I've experienced in my short time in filming DCS films. Let's get into it. Well, what is a track replay? First and foremost, a track replay is the recordings of all the buttons made during a playthrough of a specific mission, whether it be online or in single player, and there's different variations of how they work, and I'm sure other people can define these things better than I can, but just kind of give you a rough idea. These are what creators like myself use to get the external shots for their videos so that we can provide you with the best product possible. And unfortunately, due to certain things which I'm not totally sure about, but I think I have an idea, some of these can be the reason why videos desync, and I'm about to get into that here in a little bit. So first we're going to start out with the single player issues. So that seems to be the one that I have the most experience with. I found this problem goes as well with the dedicated multiplayer server, is that if you move your head around a lot, and like let's say your plane's going one way, your head's going the other way, and you're jerking this camera all over the screen and trying to lock things down to like move your TGP over to a specific designated area, i.e. in the A10 where you're trying to like hit ground troops, and if the screen's shaking a lot and you try to lock, that's one of the areas where the track replay desyncs. And this, I found this both in single player and in the dedicated server. To mitigate this, try not to move your head around as much and try to like understand your plane, know what your plane's doing, so you don't have to move your head around as much. Try using autopilot to kind of look and whatnot if that's what you're not doing. These are things that you can do to kind of help mitigate the track desync in this particular manner. Another issue that I've found out in the single player track replays is the gesture menu in the F-14. A lot of times that I mess around with the gesture menu, for whatever reason, sometimes it can desync in the replay on single player, so you have to be really careful about this. My recommendation to fix this is to press keybinds to the gesture commands that you use the most. Like I use the 200 nautical mile, 100 nautical mile, and 50 nautical mile radars, along with switch to TWS modes. So I have all of those key binded, so I can not go into the menu for that. Now, does this apply with playing VR? Not really, because I had to make the adjustments to the VR stuff, but I really don't record my videos from VR, so I can't really speak to that. The next thing I'm going to get into with the single player track replays is mods. If you use stock aircraft and stock ground troops, for the most part, they tend to operate properly in the track replays by reacting the same way every time to what you do. Whereas mods, i.e. Grinelli's F-22 and the gentleman who made that Su-30 awesome mod, those will desync regardless. After a certain amount of time, it's like the computer decides to do something different this time. And that just keeps happening. So you'll see, I got a video where I play my A4 against the Su-30 where I just didn't have any externals because that was before I started using a dedicated server, and the Su-30 just did what it wanted to, and I got a plane on fire flying around doing what I was doing in the replay, just the Su-30 is doing what it wanted to. So keep that in mind when recording single player track replays. The next thing I want to talk about in the single player track replays is the amount of assets that you have on the map at one time. I am not completely sure that this is a problem. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but this is just something I think about when I record a video and everything just desyncs. Is how many assets I have on the field and that are thinking and having to do shit. And sometimes I'm not sure if it's that I don't have enough RAM on my computer, which I have 64 gigabytes. Sometimes I think it's the amount of shit that I have that desyncs everything. Again, not sure if this is 100% true, but it's something to think about going forward. The last thing I'll talk about in the single player track replay is the amount of time that you're spending in game and that you're having the DCS try to keep up with. Now, I figure that missions that I have that are over, I want to say 15 minutes to be safe, those will automatically desync. Doesn't matter what happens, they will automatically desync right from the get-go. I've had to re-record several videos because it took me 25 minutes to do something, and right out of the gate my plan will do something that I didn't do that, or there was something that was supposed to be there that didn't happen. Deleted that, shortened, actually played through the video and was able to get through it in like 12-13 minutes, and the syncing was just fine. So with the single players, keep in mind that time frame has a lot to do with it as well. So this last little bit of this video, I'm going to go over my limited experience in dedicated track replays. I have recently done my first dedicated track replay with an A10, and it'll be posted in probably a week or two. That being said, TGP and HMD rapid movements, like I was talking about in the single player track, it can happen here too. So, and I also think that the F14 menu might be a problem in the multiplayer thing as well. So my recommended fixes, as far as like the HMD movements with the TGP, slow your head down, autopilot, smoothly look where you're going, make dedicated snaps or button presses so that the dedicated server can keep up with your movements. Also with the gesture binds, map the key binds out, like I said in the single player version, to try to help out. Again, I don't have a lot of experience with the multiplayer dedicated servers. I'm brand new to it. I'm getting ready to film my next video with it. I just wanted to put this out there because these are some of the issues that I've had, and I think maybe some of you may have had. And if any of you guys out there listening can correct me, I would appreciate being unfucked in the comment section. That would be absolutely amazing. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching this video. Your boy Red Dad DMR signing out. I'll see you in the next video.